Today I talked to Danny Clark, fellow entrepreneur and a friend of the open mic community. We talked about how if you're going to start a business solely for the purpose of making money, it's just not the best purpose. But the one thing we can do as a business owner is earn back the control of our time. Yeah.
You know, where we are today and what we do. You know, we went through a tough stretch, a couple of years, and, you know, ran into some jobs that I chased, lowered my numbers to did everything you're not supposed to do. I did it. Right. You know what I mean? I'm learning from it. It takes, you know, if you go through a rough patch and that's a 3-year rough patch, it's going to take you 3 years to get back to where you were going into that. Yeah. So, you know, get in, get out, learn from it. Mm-hmm. The companies that don't learn from it and aren't willing to keep going, mm-hmm. they fail. They'll walk away. I think there's a bunch of stats on if you make it this long in business, you're usually going to be okay or something like that. Right. But it's just like anything else. If you've been around 5 years, you're going to fail. You've been around 20 years, you're going to fail. You've been around 100 years, you're going to fail. Just that person's been around 100 years has failed and tried it again, tried something different. Yep.
You know, it is a much more competitive. There's just more people in the world and more businesses in the world than ever right now. But there's also, we're in the information age. Yeah. We are literally speaking on a podcast, an entire business that I've started in order to help business owners succeed for free. Yeah. So
back to that real quick.
There's really no
just
excuse.
Popped in my head. Yeah. All those companies out there, you can drive, I don't care if you live in Pinellas County, Hillsborough, California, New York. You could drive down the road for 30 minutes and find multiple electricians at stoplights. Yep. They're everywhere, right? So this goes back to that person that's running their own truck or that 3-man company or something like that. There's thousands of competition. Mm-hmm. If you can push past that and get to a level to where it starts to limit on the size of a job, right? It starts to eliminate your competition. Where we're at now, and the reason, one of the main reasons why I wanted to get to where we're at now is because when we bid on a job, we might be bidding against 2 or 3 people, right? Because there's only 2 or 3 people in our market that targets that type of work that can handle it.
You're not competing with those guys anymore.
No,
with the guy.
No. It's too much competition. Right. There's a lot of work at that. So that's okay to be there, right? Yeah. But it all depends on what you want to do, you know, where you want to go. Yeah. And you know, I put it this way. We've been having this conversation for a while. Today. I couldn't do this if I was one of those guys.
Right.
Think about that. Right. It goes back to your time.
Right.
You know, right now, this is like the after hours. I'm working on the business. I'm working on myself right now. That's part of it, you know?
Your business is operating right now. Your business is creating revenue. Mine as well. They're saying we're able to sit here and do this. Doesn't mean they don't need our leadership. Doesn't mean they don't need us working on the business and in it at times. But you're absolutely right. And I would say I am a firm believer that if you want to start a business to make money, it's the wrong reason. Now, don't get me wrong. I started with no money. I needed to make money. That was the intentions. But I should say, if you want to grow a business to make money as the only reason, you're setting yourself up for failure. As an entrepreneur and a business owner, I set out to buy my time. I want flexibility of time. I want to be in control of what I do. I don't want someone else to control what I do. The result of that, I'm going to make money. Like, that's a result of that. But my focus is not to make money. My focus is to make time for myself.
I struggle with it all the time. I was talking to my dad yesterday, and he's still working, and he's in his early 60s, and he's trying to phase himself out, but he's making good money right now, so it's hard for him to walk away. And I was like, he had a good year, so he has some money, and I'm like, hey, you know, loan me the money. I'm going to do something with it. And he's like, why are you always trying to do something? Why don't you just work, make a living, go home, do this? I said, Dad, the more I make now, and the more I can buy my time. You know what I mean? I don't have to work till I'm 75. Right. And the person that does that by himself, he's making enough money to live his life. He's probably not making enough money to save or invest, so he doesn't have to work or whatever down the road. You know, he can go on vacations and stuff like that. I'm trying to do that now, and you can. you've got to go a bunch of different directions. You can't just do one thing.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking to build a business, build the business, do it the right way, get everything out of it, so you can go do something else down the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you build it the right way. For the first 5 or 10 years, you'll have that time to do those things as you're getting there, right, to retirement.
Absolutely, and that's my dude. I focus on Vine IT. We're building Open Mic, but as you know, I want to serve the small business community through offering services that add value on a regular basis.
Yeah,
right. Like if I see people that I use as a small business owner, I want to create businesses like them to offer to people at a high level, right? I mean, that's for me, that's where it's at. That's where I'm headed, right?
And that's another thing that helps you kind of grow along with the processes. Building that team around you, not in Clark Electric.
Sure.
Your outside team.
Yeah,
right?
Your tribe, dude.
We use Vine.
Yep.
It's been a huge benefit for us.
Yeah.
Brett, our estimator, back to Brett, right? He was our IT guy, right? Back to Brett. He was our IT person, but he's stopping his bid to walk over to somebody else's computer to help them, to have a phone call with a foreman and help fix their laptop remotely, like when we can't log in remote, like walking through all these things. Like he's not an IT person. He has a job to do. As he's fixing their computer, he's not bidding work, right?
Period. He's shut down.
Bad deal, right?
Yeah, so you outsource that.
Outsourcing IT, phenomenal thing to do for a company.
Yeah. And some of the small businesses, it could be bookkeeping. Maybe they're sick and tired of.
That's what I was getting at.
It takes,
so accounting, from the accounting aspect of it. Maybe it's outsourcing for bookkeeping. Until you are big enough to have your own person, or maybe that's where you want to stay, right? That small business that's their accounting department. Having that person there from an insurance agent, having them and that support team and an attorney. Everybody hates attorneys. Everybody, you have an attorney, you're going to meet with your attorney. They always think there's something wrong. No, there's not. That's a huge part of my team.
That's an asset.
That's an asset to my team right there. He helps get me paid. He helps keep me from going down that wrong road and getting involved with that wrong client, right? That I don't know, but he knows them, right? And then, the banker, back to the line of credit and credit cards and growth, they help you with that. You don't have to know everything about that. That's what they're there for. Right? So leaning on those pillars that you surround yourself with.